have you done to advance technology in your internal audit department?
We've done a few things. Over the years, we introduced audit software so that we could be a little more efficient in what we do on a day-to-day basis. And what that has allowed us is more time to look at other ways to introduce technology. In the last few years, we've also implemented computer audit assisted techniques. And we've also put in place, we started in the last couple of years putting in continuous auditing. So what we're looking at now is taking some of the control testing that we did in the past, and we're looking at entire populations instead of samples, and testing the controls that way and looking for anomalies, including things like segregation of duties, fraud, looking at checks and balances. We're also now in the process of looking at implementing continuous monitoring and then transferring some of the monitoring over to our organization.
I think to me, a step before that is the mindset shift. A mindset shift both on the auditor's perspective and the auditees, whether you're using a electronic work paper documentation tool or any of the computer-assisted auditing techniques or continuous monitoring. That's where I feel that the mindset shift should happen. And the other thing that I feel based on my experience where the future is, right now the divide is somebody who's a finance auditor or an IT auditor. I think those are converging. So how do we train our folks who are doing more of the finance type auditing or operational auditing to learn a little bit of the IT side so they become very powerful? That's another way I think where the efficiency and effectiveness of using technology in the audit world will improve.
I'd go up one more step in the food chain in terms of developing an IT strategy for your audit department. I think what Scott and Princey have said in terms of continuous control auditing leading to continuous control monitoring and implementing the tools are dimensions of a strategy, including automated work papers and such, which I absolutely support. But it's really, when you say that, it's easy to say that, but the question is, how do you do that? You need staff, you need competencies, you got to buy the tools, you have to work with the IT departments, you have to work with management for the access, because what you're really going for is 24/7, 365 electronic access to records to allow that dynamic interpretation, analysis of information that Scott just spoke to. So I agree with that, but I think it comes back to that strategy, working that strategy with the support of the audit committee, because it will take some money. It'll take some resources and dedication, and it's a journey. This is not, implementing technology into an internal audit function is not a one-year solution. It's a journey, and I'm thinking if you do it well, from strategy to the tool implementation, and to integrate the scripts or the CATs into your audit programs to optimize, you're looking at a 3 to 5 year journey if you have dedicated staff to help you do that. So it's not an undertaking for the week. It's an undertaking to make your internal audit function more effective, more efficient.
What benefits have resulted from these enhancements?
Two main ones is that the audit functions become a lot more effective and efficient. The other one that I can think of off the top of my head is that the data that we have to work with, we're typically working with 100% of the data, whereas in the past we may have done, say, a sample of 30 to 100 and come back with some conclusions based on that. To come back to management or to the audit committee as an example and say, we've looked at the entire data and our conclusions based on looking at 100% of the population gives them a lot more confidence.
And I think a few other benefits that are, I would say, are from satisfaction of the team perspective. When you present your findings or your conclusions, they're much more substantive. The flexibility of doing things, the virtual part of most of the teams are virtual, so using technology enhances that efficiency and effectiveness. Just from the perspective of the future, right? How you can, the evidence that you have is much more available for longer duration that you can retain, and overall it improves the your audit function and what you're presenting to your outside world.
I think the real challenge in applying technology is how do you work smarter, so that you're able to effectively leverage your resources, do more, holistically look at data, stratify data, so that you're constantly applying risk assessment concepts and analysis rather than doing a sample of 30. So the whole efficiency, effectiveness, and the assurance, leading to the assurance, is the bar raises significantly when you apply that. So work smarter, but at the same point in time when you can do that, the benefits are there.